Welcome to Chess Talk, episode 243.
Is it?
That sounds right. No, it is not. I'm
You sure?
way off.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I think it's...
we're in the 250s for sure.
What did we do for 250?
We did a thing. We did Above and Below with Tyler.
Oh, okay. 253 then.
Yes.
I was like, I know it's the third. No, keep that shit in.
We
We make mistakes.
Welcome to 253.
Better not edit that. I'll listen to it this week just to make sure.
Let's find out next week if Brittany listened to this episode. It is just the two of us.
Is the mac and cheese still out?
Nope. Put it
Okay.
away. Close the doors.
Okay. Thank you. I was like, fucking Chloe's gonna eat that.
Nope. Unless she can somehow magically open the fridge all of a sudden.
She's fucking talented sometimes.
But hey, it's two of us. Brittany, you're back after a week off.
Yeah, I got a week off. It was great.
I know. And so because of that, I am playing chess with the robot. Let's see how quick I can lose. We are going to just play some catch up, talk about more Space Force, talk about a movie.
I thought you were gonna say play some catch up, talk about some mustard.
I'm not that fun.
That would have been funny.
Talk about some
Anyway.
Colonel Mustard. Yeah, we're going to talk about a movie that Rob was excited for, but, you know, here he is.
He's got a kid. Leave him alone.
He was talking to me about a new laptop that he bought. He's fine, a new gaming laptop. And he was like,
He has a kid.
I want the newer model, but just because it looks better. It's like, it's the same specs, but it looks better, and it's $600 more.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So yeah,
Fuck Rob.
that's what Rob's doing, you know, but they're packing and stuff
Can we call Child Protective Services?
for Pesto. Have you been in your 2-week absence?
It's been a week.
Yeah, you've been just a little stressed.
I don't want to talk about my stress.
We don't need to, but just
Okay.
how have you been?
Oh, fine, I guess.
You've been playing more Skyrim?
I've been playing Skyrim. That was fun. Level 30.
Yeah, I was like, you have to be in your 30s by now.
31
Yeah.
or 32. I made it to a city I've never been to. I realized. That was cool.
Which was...
Dawnstar.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been to Dawnstar. I never had a reason to go.
Because that's a small town up north.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But one of the Dark Brotherhood kill this person. They were in Dawnstar. And I don't remember doing that the first time I played and did the Dark Brotherhood quest. So I got to Dawnstar and then I got trapped in a quest. And I was like, oh, I might as well do it. I've never been here. This is
Yeah.
new to me.
Yeah.
Started a new job today.
I know. Congrats.
Thanks.
That was definitely not a part of any of your stress.
That was the biggest part of my stress.
I know. But hey, you didn't get fired on your first day, so it's only
Yeah.
uphill from here.
One of the higher-ups in the meeting today told me, well, as a joke, when he logged on, was like, I'm really glad to see that it's the right person's here. Someone else didn't just hop on a meeting.
Oh,
Like-
a joke. Like,
Yeah.
someone else interviewed for the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then someone asked, like, has that ever happened? And apparently, someone wanted to hire someone, but it got lost in translation who was getting hired somehow. It got garbled. Maybe their names were similar. Maybe they said the wrong name on accident. And so they hired the person that they didn't mean to hire. And they lasted a year.
Oops. Oh, that's good. Did they get fired or?
I don't
like-
know. They didn't say. But they're
Yeah.
like, so even if you weren't supposed to be here, you're going to at least last a year.
Yeah, at least. Anything
Yeah.
else the past 2 weeks?
I
Looking
don't
at
even
houses.
know. Looking at, trying to be not homeless,
Yeah.
but nothing really besides that. Finished up at my old job, and that's cool. How have you been?
I've been good playing games since last week.
Mm-hmm.
Playing more Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think I'm like 15 hours in, so I'm most of the way done. I
Yeah, you
think
keep saying you're almost done, but
because I am
it's
almost
hard.
done. Yeah, like I'm almost done, but then I play like 2 hours, and it's like I don't make much progress,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still technically almost done.
These
as far
games
as-
just don't seem fun because they're
After-
so hard.
After this one, I will more than likely take a break, and I won't do Dark Souls 3 until I've played another game or two.
Yeah.
So
What are you gonna play next?
I mentioned last week I'm probably gonna do Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Just because one, it's different than Dark Souls. Two, it's a pretty well-regarded game, and three, since we're moving, it's a digital game that I purchased, so I don't need to leave the game box out or disc in the PlayStation or anything, so I can start packing up all the game stuff.
Yeah.
So, yes. Put thought into which game I'm going to play and why.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that next. I don't know. I started watching Avatar on Netflix.
Oh.
Because that recently got put back on Netflix. And, man, it's good. Still holds up. And it's just so quick, which is nice. Because it's like 20, 22-minute episodes. So just bam, 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 fly through it. Another thing that happened past week or so that I didn't think would be a main topic, but it might be in the future. RTJ4 dropped.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it dropped out of nowhere. I mean, it's been coming out. Like, it had a release date and everything, but...
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was supposed to come out, like, mid to late June. I'll fact check that. But, yeah,
Okay.
it was coming out soon, but they were just like, fuck it. Here you
Yeah.
go. Which they pretty much did with RTJ3,
Yeah.
so... I mean, it works.
But that was in a much more, like...
That was a Christmas
fun
present.
Yeah, it was a Christmas present. This is a... Fuck, this world sucks. Here's a present.
Yeah. And it's good. I really enjoy it.
Yep.
It doesn't have any crazy songs like Culticatron or Legend Has It, or what's the other one in like the first three tracks.
I don't remember.
Okay. But it doesn't have any song like that, but they're all still very good songs, and
Yeah.
they aren't like... It's not a departure from sound, I would say, at all, which I really do enjoy.
I didn't expect that.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they had like... Maybe they're going to go fucking Grimes on it and put some acoustic tracks that are just weird. But they didn't.
No comment.
Yeah, I'm sure no comment.
I need to listen to the full album still.
I mean, you have in the car, but that's in
Not
the
the
car.
whole thing.
I played through once.
We didn't drive that much.
That's when we went to Dutch Bros. I played it in the car.
Oh, that was the full album?
Entire album.
Felt short.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like I already mentioned for you, just houses, trying to figure out moving, but that all depends on if we have a place to live. So, let's get into the main topics. First one being Space Force.
Yeah.
This week we're doing episodes 4 through 6. So spoilers for that if you haven't watched those. I want to get your thoughts, Brittany, as we haven't had your opinion at all on the podcast about it.
I went in with very low expectations and was pleasantly surprised, but it's not hilarious.
Did you go in low because you saw stuff on the internet?
I went in low because of the trailer. The trailer
Okay.
did not seem funny at all.
Right.
But I was like, okay, I'll still give it a chance. And then I saw stuff before it, like right when it came out, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I thought it would be. But no, I think it's funnier than people are giving it credit for. But I think they're expecting it to be like The Office or Parks and Rec, which is just, to some people, just constant jokes. But that's not this. This one has a little more like plot and heart to it.
Which I don't get why people thought it would just be another Office, which Rob and I talked about. I know it's because the same people, but it's like, God forbid they do something different.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think it's such a weird argument for people and like a weird thing for them to be like.
Because people like what they like, and if you do anything besides that, they don't like it. That's why people watch The Office over and over again.
Yeah, that's
it's the pinnacle of comedy.
No, I mean, this show definitely... I think it could have easily gone like a Parks and Rec sort of setup, but again, they probably just wanted to do something a little more narrative focused, which I think is working out. And even then, it's not like the episodes have this huge overarching thing happening that's tying every episode together. So it is all kind of like standalone episodes.
Yeah, it's very situational comedy.
Yeah, like, I don't know. But specifically, these 3 episodes.
I don't remember what happened in each one.
I'm going to do a recap.
Cool.
We had episode 4 with the lunar
The lunar habitat?
Yeah, habitation.
Lunar habitat.
Lunar habitat where he had to
Yes.
be alone for a week.
Well, with 3 other people.
Yeah, but
Okay.
was he really with them? We had that one. Episode 5 was the space flag, where it was Air Force versus Space Force.
Yeah.
And then episode 6 was the spy.
So episode 4 was the one with the uniforms for Space Force, right?
That was the Tony and Brad storyline, yeah.
I just think Ben Schwartz is really funny all the time. So
He's just good.
he made a really whatever stupid storyline really funny. He just plays himself.
Because he kept doing yes and.
Yeah?
And it worked.
Yeah. So that one was fine. I didn't love the A plot, but the B plot was funny. I really hated the daughter in that episode.
I was waiting for you to bring her up.
Like, fucking clean up after yourself. For a fucking week, you left the fucking blender out, fucking bitch. Like, fuck off.
Imagine if that was a roommate of yours.
Oh, I'd lose my goddamn mind. If you did that for a day, you'd be fucking out of here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's fucking gross.
There were so many ants.
Yeah. And then he, like, just comes home and she's like, I got ice cream. Like, no, that's not what you fucking... No, you yell at her. She's a fucking kid, fucking brat. Goddamn. I should not be a parent.
I imagine you wouldn't let it get to that point.
I don't fucking know. I would think that someone that's been in the military wouldn't have let it gotten to that point.
But it's also his only daughter. Maybe it's like the daddy's girl raised her. Like, I think that might be the situation, especially now that the mom is out of the picture. It might be like double down on that. Like, he's so alone, and like that she is his only family out of prison.
Yeah, well, she needs to be a goddamn adult, so.
But she's a junior.
Whatever. Anyway, that was annoying. What was episode 5 was the space flag. It reminded me of a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode where they have different, not departments, well, like
Precincts.
Not different precincts, so it's like their precinct got invited to this like federal like department, I guess, like the FBI, Homeland Security, called Tactical Village, and they had them like all compete in like securing hostage situations and all of these things. Basically, they played paintball. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it reminded me of that. I did find it weird that he only had one balloon on when everyone else had like 13.
Yeah. And even Kick had
Yeah.
like a billion balloons
Yeah,
on.
but why did Steve Carell only have one balloon on his vest?
Yeah, and I don't know why Dr. Mallory was able to just not be there at all and then just also show up whenever he wanted. Mm-hmm. It was all weird.
Yeah. So the optics of it were weird, but it was still like enjoyable, I guess. I really liked Ben Schwartz in this one too.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best character. The only good character? I don't know. That's
No,
not true.
I enjoyed Naird as a character.
I enjoy Naird and Mallory, but Ben Schwartz is just...
You
What did
can't-
he say? Oh, he's like, I'm press.
Yeah.
It was too relevant.
Yeah, because he was just getting pelted with...
BBs.
He had white balloons coating him
Both sides were shooting him.
because he's annoying.
Yeah,
I
he's
just-
hilarious.
I don't get Naird and his decision making in the entire situation. Like, why did he pick the pump BB guns? Like, he was trying to be authentic, like the colonial, the civil. No, it was the Revolutionary War. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was. But I mean,
Didn't
I
the
don't know.
other side have the same weapons?
They had BB guns, but not pump BB guns,
Oh.
and so they were able to, shoot.
I don't know.
It's just, I don't buy that a 4-star general, leader of the Space Force, would be as, like, ditzy
Yeah.
as the Steve Carell 4-star general is going to be.
Well, it's because they're trying to make him appear like Michael Scott of the
Yeah.
army.
He's
So,
the Michael Scott light,
he's typecast.
right? But I don't know. I just feel like they, as writers, and him as an actor, should push for doing more. And I think that's what they are trying to do with, like, the family home life. And, like, we did see it in the Lunar Habitat episode where he's having night terrors constantly and can't get over,
Yeah.
suppressed emotions because he is a full life army man. I still think in those situations it's like, okay, yes, it's funny, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then episode 6 was...
The Spy. It
The
was because
Spy.
India got a fin. They launched a rocket
Yeah.
before Space Force on the president's birthday, no less.
Yeah. I liked the jabs at the president
Yeah.
in this episode.
Yeah, we talked about it a little last week too, where it's like when the entire premise of the show is based on a political thing, it's hard to not have these political jabs or just like mentions. It's like it's just gonna happen and there's nothing you can really do about it. So either get over it or get used to it.
As diplomatic as I can be, they do a really good job of making the president look like a 13-year-old boy.
So that was a interesting episode with the conjugal visit, the dentist appointment.
Yeah,
and,
that was funny.
they keep alluding to the fact that she has done a very serious crime and she's in
Maximum security prison, but
And
they
it's
never
been-
fucking say
it's been
what she
6
did.
months. But
It's really frustrating.
is it frustrating or is it great writing?
frustrating.
Because you want to know what it is.
I just don't know what she possibly could have done to warrant it. And my understanding or assumption was if someone in your family, when you work for the government, commits a very serious crime warranting life in prison and a maximum security prison, you don't get to work for the government anymore.
Yeah, like you lose your security clearance.
Yeah, like, so I don't know what she did.
Right.
And I don't believe it. So maybe I'm being too cynical. But he would not be in where he is.
Yeah, I can't imagine it was anything that crazy.
She's got life in prison in a maximum security prison.
I'm sure there are tons of little things you can do to get yourself life
Like
in prison.
marijuana.
Yeah. This one probably so far has been my least favorite episode, I would say. I thought it was the most whatever, like just kind of plodding along.
I would agree. Maybe. I was interested in the development, I guess, of Mallory being gay, which was, I don't know if they had alluded to that at any point.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's interesting. I'm glad that it was a surprise to people, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like a big issue, which I expected it to be in like a military base.
No. I was fine with it. It's just I'm seeing the pattern of the show is like they like doing songs and they like having their actors sing songs and stuff, and I just don't like that in general.
You don't like musical numbers?
Not really.
No. I didn't know John Malkovich could kind of sing.
Yeah. I mean, it was like he just did an entire song on a piano like by himself, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I got it was like a very sentimental thing, and like, but that's kind of what bothered me is that it was a very personal thing for him.
I don't know why they didn't turn it off after the first like 5 seconds after they realized, oh, this is nothing.
Exactly, and like he was begging for like his privacy, and it just seems like another thing where they're like, yeah, well, we want to do because the show, and we show sing.
Yeah.
We got Malkovich sing an entire song. We're gonna show an entire song. I feel like that was the thought process behind.
I mean, it was that, and they also wanted a way for him to be outed.
But within the first line or two, one of the people was like, "They're talking about Jerome," so it's like you knew instantly. And I feel like at that point you could have cut it off before he's literally like, "I love you, Jerome."
Yeah.
Like at that point, it's like
they want you to feel the like humiliation of being outed on not your own terms.
Yeah, I do get it, but
I know it was very heavy-handed.
It's just drawn out is my issue.
Yes.
It's like I definitely already felt the being outed and stuff, and the people now questioning the relationship because they mentioned like that's a conflict of interest because Mallory was just watching him for 2 years, so it's like they addressed that stuff within the first couple lines of the song, and then it just kept going. So I was like, okay.
Well, do you think in the next few episodes it might get brought up again? And like, hey, that's still a conflict of interest, even though this is a show.
If they don't, I'll be pretty disappointed because that will just add on to my why.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be mean, but it's like I also don't really have high expectations for them to do that just because
it's a sitcom.
I know television.
Yeah.
If they do, cool. If they don't, I'm not surprised. That's kind of where I'm at with that storyline, at least. I'm going to probably repeat this a lot, but we did talk about it last week where Rob and I both were curious, like, are they going to make this a multi-season show or is it going to be just a one and done thing? Because so far I was hoping I would have some sort of glimpse as to if that was going to be a thing. And I still don't know if they're going to be able to make it a multi-show.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it depends on the reviews it's getting, which are pretty mixed / low.
I mean, on IMDb, it's averaging like in the 7s. So that's pretty...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's better than I expected.
I think most episodes are above a 7.
I think it started out pretty low.
Well, yeah,
and
because...
it's gone up with more reviews.
Because probably the diehard Office fans watched it first and they're like, fuck this.
This isn't Michael Scott.
And then the regular people just watching TV are like, oh, okay, yeah, this is funny.
Yeah.
But...
people can't separate... I'm being very general. I'm sorry. Some people can't separate fucking cringe humor from other types of comedy.
Right.
And it doesn't have to make you uncomfortable to be funny. It can just be ridiculous. A fucking monkey eating a dog. Or just Ben Schwartz talking.
Him getting the entire Space Force to flaunt a different uniform.
Like, it can be harmless.
Yeah.
So, and it's okay.
Yeah, because what was Ben Schwartz doing in the Spy episode? I feel like he didn't have too much of a role.
No, not really
unfortunately.
that I remember. Oh, he and Chan were getting the president his
That's right. Yeah.
star registry.
And to me, his big joke was the invisible cloaks, where he was like, "That's crazy. That's not real, right? That doesn't exist." Yeah,
He's so fun.
he's great. I want more Middleditch and Schwartz.
I just want to watch Ben Schwartz all day,
Yeah,
every day.
I'm sure you can get a cameo of his.
Birthday's coming up.
Hey, need you something. So you are enjoying the show.
It's funny.
Yeah, like I have my gripes with it, but
Yeah.
I think it's to be expected when it's not a perfect show. And
Yeah, I was going to say it's far from perfect, but it still makes me laugh.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like it's 30 minutes long.
no, yeah, I wouldn't, because it's not like the 22 minutes. It's like 30 to 35 minutes on
Yeah,
average.
but it doesn't feel like it most
Right.
episodes, so.
Yeah,
And
fine.
it's different. I know it seems probably not, but it is very different than anything I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's not your mom and dad's situational comedy. It's got technology up in it.
Guess. I don't know. I'm waiting for an Elon Musk parody. You look very concerned.
Chess.
Are you losing?
I mean, usually when I play against the computer. So, Space Force, we're going to wrap it next episode. So, we'll be done with that and give our fat rating.
Why has it got to be fat?
So, our movie this week, again, for anyone who missed it, the theme of these 10 episodes is either critically acclaimed or cult acclaimed movies that at least one of us hasn't seen. Ideally, something that we both haven't seen. This week it was something that we both haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
What was the movie from this 1972 film?
I want to do it in the accent, but I'm going to be so offensive.
Your Godfather.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but it'd be worse than what you did.
I'm Marlon Brando. You come to me
The day of my daughter's wedding.
and bring me a birthday gift on my fucking birthday.
Stop it. We watched The Godfather. I don't even think that would pick up. Fuck.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, that's Marlon Brando. I fucking can't hear him anyways. I
Yeah.
wanted to check, but I'm pretty sure that is like a factoid. Like, he wore something in his mouth. Like, he had some, like,
definitely
weird,
is,
like,
the
dentures.
He was the first, like, method actor.
Yeah.
Or, like, person to popularize it in America, at least.
So, yeah, we have never seen Godfather, any of the parts. And it's a pretty well-renowned movie. I think it's a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sounds right.
For them, sure. Spoilers for Godfather. We're going to have some hot takes.
If you are spoiled by this review that came out 42 years after... No.
What year do you think it is?
I was thinking of the year Annie Hall came out. Sorry.
2014?
48 years.
You said 42.
I know. I was thinking of the year Annie Hall came out.
When did that come out?
77. So I was off by like a year on accident.
Okay.
Anyway, if you're spoiled by this review of a movie that came out almost 50 years ago, I don't know. I just don't know.
I got some
Sorry.
words for you. I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. Guess we'll just start off with that.
Mm-hmm.
I was falling asleep during some parts of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Namely when Mikey...
That's what he wore.
Yeah, see? It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some weird, like, gummy shit.
Yeah. During his audition, they had him wear cotton in his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and then they made him like a dentist made a mouthpiece for him.
So
Because they wanted him to look like a bulldog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was more comfortable than cotton in his mouth 12 hours a day. Yeah, specifically when Mikey was over in Italy.
Oh,
With
I
his
like
wife.
stopped paying attention during that.
I was
part
falling
of the
asleep.
movie. Yeah.
I was like in and out during those scenes.
Yeah, I was surprised you hadn't said anything to me because I was just playing cards during that whole scene.
I
And
wouldn't
I
have been able
realized
to.
because you were falling asleep.
Yeah, it's
It's a long movie.
It's 3 hours long, but it's really, again, I don't know how.
When stuff is happening, it's really interesting and it's cool, but it doesn't happen super often. I'm sorry.
Yes, I was gonna say I don't know how much fan interaction we're gonna get on this episode, but I feel like this is the episode where we're gonna get it. But I
mean,
just feel like
let's
this.
preface it with like we like the quality of the film, like how it was made. I do.
I don't know. I couldn't say that
Yeah. Okay.
with conviction.
Go.
I was just gonna say, like, this movie really, realistically to me, is an hour and a half movie
Yeah.
that he doubled for some reason. It's like, were you trying to tell the Vito Corleone story, or are you trying to tell the Michael Corleone
They're trying
story?
to tell the Michael story.
But then, like, there's literally like an hour and 15 minutes build up just to get to the Michael like storyline. And even then, the first 30 minutes of the Michael storyline, I'm like, bah. It just, if the most long-winded way to show why he is a mob boss now.
Backstory.
That's my interpretation of it. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Okay. It is law.
What's backstory?
No, I'm just saying that's the backstory they're giving you. It's long, but
It just, because even the wedding scene, like,
the wedding scene was really long.
and we should have taken that as like, oh, this is the movie, really long scenes. And it was cool, like you said, when things are happening, like when Vito is doing the like deals, and like you have the famous
doing
lines
business.
where, you know, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really interesting. I just don't know what the point of the very long, lengthy scenes were. Maybe that's just,
Exposition.
but not when nothing's happening. That's not exposition.
It's based off of a book, I believe, too.
How long is that book?
Real long. It's back when you could make movies based off of books and not cut everything out.
How many pages do you think that book is based off the movie?
Like 500.
450.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's like every other page was a minute. That just seems like a lot of, he was unwilling to cut any scene from the book. That's what that says to me.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like 1,000-page book, but like, okay, yeah, you probably had to sift through a lot. Mm-hmm. It's like, you just took the book and you were like, bam, that's my screenplay.
I prefer that when I've read the book, at least.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I know. And
I haven't read this book.
right.
But I don't want to be a hypocrite and complain it's too long and they should have cut more of the book out when it's a book I've actually read and they make a movie out of it and I'm like, oh, they cut too much out. So I don't want to speak to that.
I don't think anyone would
You don't know that.
get on you about that.
I think the internet is capable of it.
They're capable of anything.
Yes.
Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you think about the movie? I feel like I'm dictating this conversation, and
I can see why it's held in such high esteem. The acting's good. The story is, when stuff is happening, the story is interesting. It's different because at least at the time, I'm sure you didn't see really anything like that.
no, yeah.
So when you put it in its cultural context, like it was groundbreaking.
Yeah, because you said it was essentially like the first.
I've heard that it's essentially the first like realistic gangster movie.
Yeah.
So that was interesting because it wasn't just all the old timey like Bonnie and Clyde movies where
Right.
it's just like violence for the sake of violence.
Or just like a bank robber movie or whatever.
Like it was just the backroom dealings and the the politics of it all.
Yeah.
The 5 families.
And dealing with who has what cops and who has what.
Politicians behind them.
Right.
Yeah, so it's all about who's in your pocket rather than who's got a stronger army, I guess. Did you lose?
I fucked up and now I'm going to lose. Yeah, I'm just surrendering to a goddamn computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that is interesting. The scenes with Vito where he's dealing with that are super, like, tense. Like when he's dealing with Salazzo?
Like Salazzo or something.
The drug dealer that's like
Yeah.
coming to him with like the proposition to like get into the drug business, and he just is like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, how is this gonna go? And it's cool. It took that long to get to the point of the movie. It's like, oh, they're not gonna be happy with that, and they're gonna turn on him.
Yeah.
But after that, like, you don't really have too much like mob business going down.
Yeah.
It's all just them dealing with it, and Sonny being kind of a.
He was the Don for
He
a
was
little
a
while.
temper
But he was
tantrum.
he was just hot-headed.
Yes. And Carlo, lovely Carlo, that is the trophy husband,
Yeah.
used that to his advantage and got Sonny killed, which I thought was an interesting twist. Because the only things I knew about this movie was Vito dies eventually and the horse head.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't know the context of the horse head, so like in the 30 minutes or whatever, like when you see him go there and there's a horse, you're like, oh yeah, that's part of the movie.
Yeah. I knew the horse head thing, and then as soon as he was showing off his prized horse, I was like, oh, this is where it happens this early?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
And like, it's just this person that you don't even really know or care about. So it's like, oh, okay, there's a horse head. That's the one like concession I'll make with like the times. Whereas like in the 70s, when you see that, you're like, oh, fuck.
I read really quickly, I don't know if it's true or if I misread it when I was just looking up the Mouthpiece, that it was a real horse head.
Yeah, 70s.
Yeah.
But it's just like at the time, like you don't see that in movies and stuff. But like now we're fucking degenerates and we can watch that happen on Live League with a real horse, real people doing it.
Yeah.
So it didn't have the shock value to me.
Yeah. Desensitized.
Yeah, and so
all those video games you play.
All those Fortnite wins I got, I just don't care.
You're so prone to violence now because of video games.
I just beat up llamas on the daily on the Battle Royale map. They're little like llama pinatas that you have to beat up and you get a lot of good loot.
What is this game?
So, we talked about Michael and his lovely storyline. How would you feel as Kay? Miss Kay. Kay Adams, that was her name.
Miss Kay, what the
I thought her last name was Kay, but her first name's Kay.
Kay Adams.
I just kept thinking of Rachel McAdams for some reason. I was like, that isn't...
probably wouldn't have gotten back together with him after he came back from Italy.
Just didn't write, didn't call, and then he just shows up outside your school?
Yeah, and like, I want to be with you again. Okay, fucking Diane Keaton. You're better than that.
He was married.
Yeah.
I was waiting for her to say, like, I'm engaged, or there's another guy, or something, but because she was resisting. But
yeah, it's like, you fucking just waited. Like, you're pretty. Stop it.
But he was the one.
No. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe he had a lot of money. So, yeah, I guess. Like I told you when we were walking, like, if you joined the mob and you had millions of dollars, like, yeah, I'd probably look the other way.
And it's one of those things where it's like, if you're around the Corleones, you know, like, it's not a huge secret. So she knew what he was and what she was waiting for.
Yeah, and he was very open from the beginning about what his family was.
And he wasn't like them.
Yeah.
Liar.
Yeah.
It's in your blood.
Yeah.
It's Sonny.
Yeah. He's not Sonny.
Yeah, he's dead.
Rip James Caan.
Yeah, see, I feel like we've just barely talked about him. I'm like, man, what else happened?
I don't fucking know.
Another cool scene I'll bring up is the hospital scene. How Michael figured out what was going on and how they were going to gun him down. And so I don't know where he got that like intuition from, but it was just cool to see that he was correct and it panned out and he called their bluff at the beginning.
I mean, even though he pushed himself away from his family, like, he still knows how it works. And he was still raised around it. I'm sure he's familiar with the tactics and the red flags to keep an eye out for.
Right.
Because you got to stay like 5 steps ahead of everyone if you're in the mob.
Yeah. And it was all too relevant when he was just talking to the police officer and the police officer got in his face and punched him for just being there.
Yeah. I have heard that The Godfather Part 2 is better than the first one.
Okay, because I remember one of the 3 is like bad.
Probably Part 3.
It's probably Part 3, but I couldn't remember if it was Part 2 and then like Part 3 redeems it, or if it's...
Part 2 is apparently the best one.
Because that's probably following Michael in Vegas and how that goes down. Baby Al Pacino. I don't know. Do you have any interest in watching that, or...
One day.
Because is that probably another like 3 hour...
Probably, yeah.
Gosh.
They're long fucking movies.
I just don't know why.
Film.
They have too much to say, but not enough words.
So did you like The Godfather?
I'm going to say it was okay.
Okay.
I will probably never watch it again.
Okay.
As upsetting as that will be to people. Even, like, I couldn't recall, like, interesting shot or any good cinematography moments or anything. I know that wasn't really a thing back then. Like, crazy camera movements and, like, weird camera placements to give, like, an interesting perspective on a scene. Like, that didn't exist in this movie. It was all very, like, straightforward. So.
I mean, in your perspective.
And in my rating, that's what matters.
Okay. I don't want to rate a movie that came out 50 years ago.
Giving it a 5.
Okay. I'm not rating it.
Yeah.
It's a 50-year-old movie.
You're afraid.
No, it's a 50-year-old movie.
So do you not see the point? What's the oldest thing you would rate?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when does that stop? Is that like an ever-changing line?
I prefer to... Yeah, I mean, I just prefer to rate, like, things that have just come out. Like, I wouldn't go back and review a film that's been reviewed for the past 50 years.
Why?
What else is there to say about it that hasn't already been said at this point?
But you're saying it in your own style and stuff, and it's...
My style doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter about The Godfather.
For us, it does. That's why we're doing it. Getting our thoughts on it.
I can give my thoughts, but I don't think a number can sum up an old film when we have to compare it to modern films that have much higher quality and technology.
But I
just don't think it's fair to apply it to the same rating scale as I would to modern films.
But you'll never be able to be in that era, in that context, and that mindset. So I don't know. I don't see the harm in doing it. It's like they've already...
I just don't want to.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
discussing. Like, they've already gotten their success and they've gotten their awards and stuff. So my 5, they'll never know.
Yeah.
That's why I feel okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna throw a big old rating on the next movie. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I know you will.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
probably gonna rate it too, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I can understand, even though I haven't watched the movie in about 5 years, like, it exists in a certain cultural context that we can't relate to anymore. So I don't feel comfortable rating it by modern standards, especially because, spoilers, Woody Allen fucking sucks.
Yeah. I'm surprised you picked it, but...
Because I like the movie.
And that justifies it?
No. But I don't buy into the fucking... How do I say it? I would not watch a modern day Woody Allen movie, knowing what I know.
Got it. Tangented off to Woody Allen. I lost
You
it.
brought up next week, and I'm just not rating The Godfather, but it was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. I will not watch it again because I don't like watching long movies because I'm a fucking casual.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pleb over here.
Took up most of our Saturday.
Because it was buffering half the day. Fuck.
Yeah.
Half of that watch time was just buffering.
No, because halfway through the movie, so an hour and a half in, we switched over
Yeah.
to Amazon.
Yeah. Fuck.
Is that it? You good?
Uh-huh.
That's 253. We did it. We're going to be back next week. Like I said, we're going to finish up Space Force. We're going to talk about another movie. And maybe get more into RTJ if I can get Brittany to listen to the album.
I will try.
Yeah. No time. And I think that'll do it. So make sure you give us a rating. Tell your friends about us. Check us out on Spotify and iTunes and all the things. That's it for the episode again. Bye.
Bye.